Yo, what's happening, Raider Nation? It's your boy Soto here. You know what it is. Raiders versus the world, talking about the team that the world loves to hate, your Las Vegas Raiders. All right, so I'm going to tell you guys up front. Some of you guys have known me for a few years now, okay? Some of you guys just got to know me, a few minutes ago. But I'm not the kind of guy to say I told you so, but wait, that's exactly who I am, especially when I'm right. Now, I also admit when I'm wrong. Right? I'm very upfront about all that stuff. So what are we going to talk about today? I've been trying to tell anyone who would listen about this dude that used to play for us and how he just is not the guy that he seems to be.
That piece of shit up there, I never liked him. I never trusted him.
We're going to talk about all that. But before we do, I want to make sure everyone please to like, comment, and subscribe to this video. It's a great way to support the channel. It's absolutely free to do. And it's the bare minimum you can do to support the channel besides doing absolutely nothing and just watching the video, which, of course, I always do appreciate. Okay, let's get to it because it's really juicy. News came out last Friday that Derek Carr is injured and may need season-ending shoulder surgery. Now, it's a little funky, and the last game that the Saints played was in early January, and we're like in mid-April, so there's been a few months since. Why is this all happening now? Well, there's an answer to that.
He's a bum. No. He was a bum then, and he's a bum now.
It's not really just happening now. Now, there's no clear date. There's no clear time when this injury occurred or what is the actual injury or if this surgery thing is like a real thing or it's just kind of like a ploy or anything like that. There's no clarity at all. First off, let me say this. The Saints didn't leak out this information because this whole rigmarole has been going on for like over a month, okay? And let me tell you what this whole started. It's no secret that the New Orleans Saints are not happy with Derek Carr. They've actually called the Derek Carr contract the worst free agent signing in team history. That's not me saying it. Those are Saints fans and Saints creators and Saints people that are saying that stuff. Not me. This whole thing is kind of looked at side-eyed because there's not a lot of clarity on what's happening here. Also, Derek Carr and his people went to the Saints and said, hey, man, I may need this surgery, can we redo my deal? Basically, he wants a new deal because he wants a commitment from the team to him specifically and not to get a younger quarterback like it's been talked about for I don't know how long the Saints be connected to a quarterback. I just think that Derek Carr is afraid of like the Kirk Cousins treatment, right? Where you draft a first-round quarterback, even though you give good money to the incumbent vet quarterback, and the rookie takes your job, and you're not, kind of like out on the streets, right? So to avoid doing that, it's been said, and I believe it as well, because if you take a look at the little breadcrumbs, it kind of leads to that. Last month, in the beginning of the month, it all started with Geno Smith being traded, okay? Geno Smith is traded to the Raiders. So that kind of knocks out the Raiders from a first-round quarterback. So who's the next one? The Jets, right? Well, the Jets may or may not, okay? But that puts the Saints within reach of jumping. They only have to jump a couple of spots to go from 9 to 6, right? Okay, that was like the worst-kept secret in the NFL, okay? That the Saints were looking for a quarterback to upgrade because they don't think that Spencer Rattler is going to be it, and Jake Haener is just whatever, right? And Derek Carr definitely is not the guy in their eyes. So, how does this all relate? Okay. Derek Carr is like, look, the Raiders are out of it. The Raiders are not taking a quarterback in the first round, so it's going to have to be the Saints moving up. So the Saints moving up for a quarterback doesn't spell very good for Derek Carr and his prospects with the Saints. So what Derek Carr wanted to do is he wanted to force the Saints' hand to extend his deal, to commit to him long-term, or to trade him somewhere else. It's going to be a little bit sticky because the Saints kind of reworked Derek Carr's deal. So he's only like a $20 million cap hit in 25, but there's still like $60 million in dead money after this season. It's $80 million right now. So if they were to trade him, they still have all this dead cap that's going to have to deal with. This is the second team in a row that Derek Carr is screwing over. Because let's not forget, Derek Carr's like, yeah, I put a no trade clause. I only want to go where I want to go. No. He put that no trade clause in his contract with the Raiders because he wanted to make sure to screw us on the way out, which he actually did. Now let's get back to the Saints. The Saints did not leak this information. This is information that was going back and forth between Derek Carr's team and Derek Carr and the Saints. Derek Carr's team leaks this information. Now, why would the Derek Carr team leak this information about Derek Carr's injury and possibly missing the entire 2025 season? I'll tell you why. Because this now puts more pressure on the Saints to either extend Derek Carr or trade him. And this is exactly what Derek Carr wants, okay? Also, it puts the radar more firmly on the back of the Saints as being a team that needs to be jumped in order to get a quarterback. What is that going to do? And how does this relate to the Raiders? Well, I'll give you a little bit a snippet now, and then we'll get back to it later. But the snippet is the price to move up has just gone up because it is like the worst kept secret in the world that the New Orleans Saints want to draft a quarterback. All right. But now that they're looked at as basically desperate to get a quarterback in the first round because of the news with Derek Carr and all that nonsense going on, teams are like, well, I have to jump ahead of the Saints because the Saints are for sure getting a guy now. So it's like the price is going up because there's more suitors now for that pick. If the draft goes by plan up to number 5, that number 6 pick is going to be really, really juicy. This is not anything new. These are reports coming out from the Saints. What they're saying is that Derek Carr lacks self-awareness. He had issues with several teammates, Chris Olave being one of them. He was crying about his Madden rating, even though he got a $150 million contract. Like, who cares, right? But he's just being a baby about it. He's being talked about as being really immature and this and that. Like, look, those who know and those who are really paying attention about what happened in his exit with the Raiders, they know that this is not out of character for Derek Carr, okay? He comes across as this nice guy, but there's a lot of reporters now coming across and saying this is not anything new from Derek Carr and his camp. Now, a lot of the narrative has been kind of crafted because his brother's in the media, David Carr, and he always sticks up for him, makes all these excuses. But, dude, there's only so many excuses you can make for this type of, behavior when it's like, dude, it's so transparent. Anyone who's willing to look at it with any type of, objectivity is going to be pretty obvious. Now, Diana Rossini called into question the severity and the motive of Derek Carr and his camp to leak the news. It doesn't look good, man. When you're losing the freaking media, it's like, man, it's pretty tough. Now, one of the worst ones was Jim Miller. He's on NFL radio, and he straight up said, it seems like it's nonsense. That's what he said. He said that it's not going to be as simple as that, okay? That Derek Carr spent all these years crafting an image of himself, crafting like a persona for him to do this now. It doesn't look good, man. It really doesn't. Also, he said that it's not just going to be a 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah, you need surgery? Fine, go ahead and get surgery. No, the Saints are going to have their doctors give a second opinion. And if their doctors are like, look, he has a couple issues here and there, but he doesn't need surgery, he's good to go. Guess what? Derek Carr better be good to go. This all seems like a big ploy. And if you guys are paying attention, for all those years that we had Carr under contract with the Raiders, we never drafted any quarterback of any type of significance to be a backup or to push Derek Carr whatsoever. It just all points to him being pretty immature, a little fragile, and easily rattled. And ultimately, the Saints are going to have to do what's best for them. Honestly, it may be better for the Saints to just cut their losses and just either try to trade him or just really cut him. I mean, look, he's not in their long-term plans. That roster has been, in a big mess for a long time. Just rip the Band-Aid off and just move forward, man. This guy he's not the future with New Orleans. It took the Raiders 9 seasons to figure out that he wasn't the guy for the Raiders. And it only took a couple of seasons for the Saints to be like, maybe this isn't the best idea. Okay. Enough about Derek Carr. How did this affect the Raiders? Okay, imagine you have all these suitors for your draft pick because you're like the first 5 picks, those first 5 teams are probably not going to want to trade back. Those teams, they're not looking to trade back. They're looking to get that player right then and there. I think that the team of Spytek and Carroll and Tom Brady, they're going to be like, look, so the players that are in like the top positions, right? The big 5 positions, right? Those guys are the cream of the crop of those players are already gone. So already gone are more than likely going to be Cam Ward, Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, Mason Grant. The 5th one, who knows who it's going to be? It could be an offensive lineman. Who knows? But there is depth at the other positions available. You can get an offensive lineman that's really good. You can get a corner that's good. You can get Ashton Genty may even slip to you if you trade back to number 9. A lot of options available to the Raiders to trade back. If the Saints know that the rest of the league knows how desperate they are for a quarterback, and if guys are looking to, you know what, maybe we can jump up because the Saints aren't going to just try to sit there, they could drive up the price for that number 6 pick, which is great for the Raiders because they can only trade back maybe 3 spots to the Saints and get like a premium boatload of picks back because look, the Saints are in a really bad position right now. And that's great for us because they need a player that's going to be available more than likely at 6 and a player that we're really not going to want ourselves, right? So it really falls into place for us here. And it's really a shame that Derek Carr is screwing over another franchise on his way out. Let's not forget, he was offered an opportunity to stick around and be our starting quarterback. He chose to say, no, I don't want it. Let's go ahead and just part ways and move on. So let's just not, cry for me, Argentina, for this guy. The issue is the same. The persona that's being crafted is just a facade, and that's fine. I have no problem with someone going out there and getting the bag. But just don't go out there and say, oh, shucks, golly gee willikers, man, this and that and blah, 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 and be this like howdy doody, straight-laced guy. But then when it comes down to it, you have everyone else doing your talking for you. When have you heard Derek Carr do any talking for himself when this happens? No, it's always either his management or his agent doing it, or it's his brother doing it and doing his talking for him on TV. That's that's weak sauce, man. That's just weak business. If you guys don't like this, that's fine. I can go ahead and talk with somebody I don't agree with. That's okay. Because let me tell you something right now. If you only want to subscribe and talk to and listen to people that you agree with, one or both of you is a phony. Because there is no way in hell that you agree with someone on every single point and everything in life. So you don't agree with me. That's okay, man. I still love you guys. We're all Raider Nation, and we all here to get the information out. Hopefully I entertain you a little bit. That's my little rant here because look, I'll tell you right now, I felt this way about Derek Carr for quite some time now. And it's taken everything that I have to just not absolutely bury the guy because everything that I'm saying was reported by somebody else. So it's not just me saying these things. These are like legit Diana Rossini, Jim Miller, the guys from Pro Football Talk, right? Florio and Sims. They were all saying the same things about, dude, this is a fake injury. Because look, even Jim Miller was like, man, this is nonsense. Because I'll tell you something right now. If Derek Carr does get traded, he's going to be like, hey, man, my receivers, come over here to this high school field and let's just go ahead and throw to each other. What happened to the shoulder surgery that he was supposedly needing? Right? Look, man, ultimately, this could be a very good thing for the Raiders, which is really all I care about. If this is a good thing for the Raiders and it really boosts the value of that number 6 pick, then it's all good for me, man. All right, guys, that's my time. Hope you liked the video. Please, everybody, like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think about the video and the whole situation and how it's unfolding, how it's like just a big old mess for the Saints and how that could be good for the Raiders and their haul for that number 6 pick. Go ahead and subscribe, man. I really appreciate it if you would. It's a great way to support the channel. It's absolutely free to do, and it's the absolute bare minimum you can do to help support this channel besides doing absolutely nothing and just watching the video, which of course I do appreciate. All right, guys, that's my time for tonight. Till next time, everybody. Peace. Hey, Raider Nation, thanks for watching. There's plenty more where that came from. Go ahead and smash that like button, drop a comment, make sure to subscribe and share to all your socials. It's the bare minimum you can do without doing absolutely nothing.